that. So what does that look like? Well, first, we want to keep it simple. So what does simple mean? Let's see where we want to get work. Well, anywhere is not narrow enough. We need to narrow that thing down so that we can focus on the target. Wherever that area is, let's identify that area. And now let's begin to let ourselves be seen and known in the area. So how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of ways, okay? All right, let's talk about this. What are one of the things today, not you saw it move my cheese. Who moved my cheese? You see it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Jeremiah saw it a couple times. You guys saw it a couple times. The cheese, for where it was in 2019, has moved. It has moved. It's not where it was. Okay. Where is it at now today? Where is it today? Today, when I was 30, 25, 30, 32, the cheese was in marketing in papers, in the Inquirer, the Daily News, the Philly paper, Jersey paper. That's what the cheese was. You market, next week you got some activity. Then it began to move. And then the internet, the advent of the internet came in, and people could now find who could find them the properties. Well, it moved there. So then you had the people that was there, and they would look at a property, see you, and then see you go show them properties. Okay?
Right.
Well, it has moved again. Guess what the consumers don't need? They don't need you or me to find them a house.
Right.
They don't need that. So those mediums that help them find you so that you could find them a house, it changed. They can find their own house. They really can. So if that's the case, what is it? And I believe they'll never replace you and I. I believe you and I will never be replaced. But I do believe that we have to make ourselves become more relevant. Mm-hmm. So how do we become more relevant? We have to be able to be seen. And I've told y'all guys this from the beginning. We got to be able to be seen as the professional. And once they see you as a professional, now, Mr. and Mrs. Professional Agent, I know where I want to live. I've already seen my house. I need you to be the one to help me get it. Mm-hmm. That's where our marketing strategy, I believe, has to go. It has to be in a place of technology. Let's get out there and let's allow them to find us. And when they find you, now they want to work with you. I had a lady said to me about, 3 weeks ago. She said, when I was looking in this marketing thing, and I'll leave that nameless, she said, I saw you and I looked at all of your accomplishments or what have we, and she said, I wanted you to represent me. Mm-hmm. That's where today's person is. Mm-hmm. Whether they're selling or buying, that's where they are. So the question becomes, okay, how do I get to them today? Mm-hmm. That's the question. And it's through technology. Now, I'm old school, so I got to learn technology, or I got to have somebody around me that understands technology that can allow me to receive it so I can understand it so we can go and do it. That's where it's at today. So hopefully I said something in there will give you some ideas of where you got to go, because the cheese has moved. Listen, I got nothing against any of the mediums we had, be it Realtor.com, Zillow, any of those guys, any of them. But the cheese has moved. Now, you still may get a little work there. I'm not saying they're dead, but I'm saying the cheese has definitely moved. It ain't dead. It's not there like it was. So we have to create new streams, okay? Plan where you're going. Do you have a plan or a goal for the next 3 to 5 years? Now, what happens here is once you begin to plan, guess what you also begin to do? My glasses, for some odd reason, they keep getting smeared. When you begin to plan, especially the next 3 to 5 years, and you begin to look at those goals, you begin to look at yourself a little more. You begin to look and say, okay, am I on schedule? Am I doing what I need to do? And if I'm not on schedule, what can I do to get on schedule? And that's the best place to be. The best place to be in this business especially when things are not happening the way that you want them to happen, is to be disturbed. You have to be disturbed in your comfort zone so that you can begin to make a change in your comfort zone. And that's the only way it happens. Without that, it doesn't happen. This plan must be written down in plain sight. Some places you can see it every day. I have in my bedroom, my closet, right on my closet, I have pictures. I'm motivated by, I know what you're motivated by. Some by sound, some by sight, some by touch, whatever. I'm motivated by sight. Okay, so if I see it, I got little stuff I write down. If I'm, and I take a look at it and I read it right quick. Okay, that motivates me. Seeing what I want and what's going to be and what's going to come, that motivates me. What does it motivate you to do, Jack? It motivates me to keep on keeping on. It motivates me to make today a good day because I can't get this day back. Right. This day is lost. It's lost. Okay. I'm using a Habakkuk here, and the Bible is one of the things that I study quite a bit or read quite a bit. I'm not going to say I'm no study ward. But and the Lord answered me and said, write it down and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. And when I studied that, guess what that said? It says when he runs, but if you study, it says when you run, when you read it. So when you read what you written down, it makes you run. Is that correct? Changes everything. A little study changes everything.